We are visiting the Kwinana family, the family of Sbusiso Kwinana, a very young, bright, talented township young person and creative artist. We are here to convey our condolences to the family. We also came with the police so that the police can brief the family around the investigation. This is a priority case. When the news reached me about Sbu's senseless killing, I communicated with the MEC and the provincial commissioner that we have to find the killers of Sbu. The provincial commissioner has established a special task force of the police, and he may say something a bit more about it. And this special task force is on the heels of the killers. There are 3 suspects identified, and that's how far we can go now. The provincial commissioner was here with the investigation team to brief the family. From where we sit, we would like to say that our province has been robbed of great talent, a jewel right from Soshanguve in our townships. And Sbu was a great inspiration to township young people, many of whom often end up either in crime or lost to drugs. The family was also briefing us now that Sbu was always a young person who wanted to do things right, and he was always saying to them, he's busy, they must watch the space, they will see what is going to come out as a legacy that he is going to leave. And indeed, Matwetwe, I would like to plead with South Africans to go and watch Matwetwe, a South African production that showcases township life, huge talent in our township. I had the opportunity to meet with the team that was involved in the production of Matwetwe just before the State of the Province address. Some members of the team were there, and some of the creative musicians, young people who are involved in young entrepreneurs were part of that session. And they made a very strong case, out of which I dedicated the State of the Province address to the creative spirit amongst the youth of our province in particular. And they said, Premier, we want to work with you. We want the ecosystem, we want Gauteng province to have an ecosystem to nurture talent, especially the youth from the townships who are involved in the creative industries, who are involved in fashion design, who are involved in music, who are involved in visual arts, who are involved in film. We had started a process. I had a follow-up meeting with Black Coffee and Nelson Makamu, as well as Laduma Nchongolo, who I had a follow-up meeting because it's out of that discussion about Matwetwe, the creative industries, just before the State of the Province address, that I came to understand that the creative industries can do a lot to get a lot of our youth in our townships to participate in the economy of our province. Sbu was just on the verge of a major breakthrough. Matwetwe is a great film, and I would like those who are touched, who are hurt, who are angered by the brutality of his murder, his senseless killing, to also pay tribute by going to watch Matwetwe and see what we have amongst our youth, many of whom refuse to succumb to despair. Many of these young people say they want to do something with their lives. So we are saddened, and I did say when I issue a statement that I'm not only saddened, but I am angered that crime is robbing us of the most talented in our country, in our economy. This morning we started off with the police anti-crime operations in Atteridgeville and right into Soshanguve. This is not the only operation. We're not doing this only today. Last week we were in Soweto. 2 weeks ago we were in the East End. I want to say to the criminals who are out there, we are coming for you. Firstly, the killers of Sbu. I said to the provincial commissioner, these guys must be put behind bars. As I say, 3 suspects have already been identified. They must be put behind bars. We want to create Gauteng as a safe province, a safe zone. We will go everywhere. We want people in our communities to cooperate with the police. And I know when we do these roadblocks, there are inconveniences. People often get to work late. I saw a few people in the morning who were saying, Premier, we are running late to work. When we conduct these anti-crime operations, we don't want to inconvenience members, law-abiding citizens. But we will find these criminals. We must find them. We must make every part of Gauteng safe. 95 of them were arrested. Suspects this morning were arrested. That's all over. That's in Atteridgeville and in Soshanguve. These are people who are involved in many crimes and for a long time are running away from the law. We will find them. In each of these operations, we arrest wanted criminals. We also want them not only to be arrested, like these 3 suspects who the police are following. They are following on these 3 suspects. We also want them to be sentenced to long-term imprisonment. We must send a strong message there. The police are now doing their work. General, the police are now working. 27 suspects were arrested in Ekurhuleni. 25 were arrested in Soweto in those operations last week. And today, combined figure of 95. When we were in Mamelodi, there were also, I think, 24 suspects arrested. But when they are arrested, we also want the prosecution authority to ensure that these people are put behind bars. We want also communities to cooperate with the police. We want Gauteng province to be a safe province. We won't do that if communities are not cooperating. We're also calling for information. In Sunnyside, where this crime took place, there's somebody out there who can give the police information. The police are looking for these 3 suspects. Somebody knows out there. We want to call on those who may know where these guys who killed Sbu are, to give that information to the police so that they can be put behind bars. We are grieving. The family has lost a jewel. So the community of Soshanguve has lost a great role model for the youth in this area. We were looking up to Sbu. We want to find the perpetrators of this heinous crime. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Premier. Colleagues, I'm sure that you may have follow-up questions that you may want to pose to the Premier on the basis of what he has said. May I request that we keep it very short?
Sure. I would like to pose my question. It's Leranza Tema from ENCA. To you, Commissioner, if possible, are you able to give us details without jeopardizing the case, of course, with regards to the 3 suspects that have been identified? How was that process conducted? How were they identified?
Firstly, let me convey our heartfelt, sincere condolences to the family. We are not in the space of revealing how do we conduct our investigation, because definitely we'll be telling the criminals, our method of investigation. But our special appeal to the peace-loving, good citizens of Gauteng is that they know somebody who's supplying these people with meals every day, wherever they are, in that dark hole. There is somebody who's doing some errands for them. That particular person who's doing these things for those people, he or she must know that he's harboring the criminals. He or she may make him or herself guilty of crime. So we appeal to them that please come forward and tell us where are these people. in that dark hole. Surely those suspects were not the newcomers in Sunnyside. They are known in Sunnyside, and they frequent that space. So somebody knows them, and he knows exactly where do they stay and which hole they are as we speak right now. So we are calling upon good citizens of this province, let them come forward, because the country, the world, the family, it has been robbed a talented young man.
Last offences team or SABC News. Commissioner, I'd like to find out about the composition of the task team that's dedicated to sorting out this case and maybe their mandate, if you may.
Okay. Yes, we have put together seasoned detectives, highly experienced detectives. They are being supported by the specialized units, your crime intelligence, your forensic investigators. We have also put together some assistance from DPCI, the people who are operating the systems which are using to can track down people. So their mandate is simple. Let them go out there, investigate the case, ensure that they collect quality evidence, arrest the suspect, present the case before the court of law so that the family may find closure.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Unfortunately, as you know, that there's a memorial service that is taking place.
Are we able to hear from the family possibly, please? Maybe just a response from the family.
Yes, I think that we get.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carlo, for joining us. You've had a visit from the Premier as well as high-level delegates from Gauteng Province. What is your message to South Africans, especially after what has happened to your family?
Thank you for supporting Spusi. So I think it comes as a shock, his death, as I've been saying throughout the week. We're still coping and trying to deal with the acceptance of his passing. I think I want to send two messages. First, to thank the supporters that have supported Spusi so in building his career until where he is right now. And then also to the perpetrators. I think you know what you've done, and I think right now is the time to come forward, give us as a family closure so that we are able to mourn and heal from what you've done to us, because it's a really good life cut short. I think we are working on ourselves, but we would really like if you would just give us that last minute of closure, that last, closure that we've been needing all along, because it comes as a shock that he was brutally killed whilst doing what he passionately loved to do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, colleagues.
Well, there you have it, Koli, a heartfelt plea from the family of Sibusiso Kwinana, who was speaking just at this very impromptu briefing that was conducted not only by David Makura, but also by the high-level delegation that visited this family this morning. It's very important to note that David Makura expressing his heartfelt condolences, but also his shock at this heinous crime, saying that if South Africans are out there and they are outraged by this crime, urging them to support this movie that has been a box hit, and we understand that has really attracted people from far and wide from this country to watch this Matwetwe movie. So the Premier just asking people to show their support not only for the slain actor but for the film industry in the country. Over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Liranzo Temba, my colleague there, alongside other journalists, just hearing from the Gauteng Premier there. It's very clear, the Premier, that the Gauteng province must be a safe province. Well,